Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
All right, so Hasan Piker there, he is right and wrong at the same exact time. And I don't see a single person saying this in relation to what he was saying. He is right and wrong at the same time. He's talking about the mental strain it takes on you to be a Twitch streamer streaming 9 hours a day. I know people who stream 12, 14 hours a day as soon as they woke up to when they went to bed. That being said, Hasan Piker, for instance, shouldn't, in my opinion, should not have the right to say that, considering the millions of dollars he makes to just watch other people's content. Okay, so I don't agree with him saying that in the context of himself, but I do agree with what he's saying in the context of maybe other streamers, because most streamers out there do not make millions of dollars. If anything, they make less than minimum wage, and then they have to deal with trying to get donations from people constantly and constantly staying active and engaged in 10 hours a day worth of streaming every single day. And if you miss a day, you may not have some of these people come back that are basically funding you. And at the end of the day, you're probably making less than minimum wage, at least for the first few years of you doing it, unless you get lucky and hit. Now, Gila here, she used to be one of those people, and she is somebody who I think could speak on behalf of that.
I would say, I mean, I agree, like, he's right and wrong at the same time, right? But I do, now that I've streamed, I give props to streamers who do it every day, because it is life-sucking, it is soul-sucking, it is really hard because you're continuously being recorded and watched. And
you got to deal with people being ravenous at you, and you might be doing something in one direction that's working, and then all of a sudden that little audience that you built turns on you because you did something else. And I don't think many people out there can understand what it's like to have people of an internet community come at you.
Yeah,
that is a very stressful thing.
Also, the fact that when you're in a 9 to 5, usually you're getting the orders, you're getting your tasks that need to be done.
You just got to do your job, and you know you're going to get a check.
Yeah, and then you do your job, you go home, and you're no longer in that headspace.
Now, here's the thing: is there are always exceptions to the rule as well, because we know someone in the comments is going to be like, "Oh, try working at an Amazon warehouse." There are exceptions, always exceptions to the rule. But you got to understand, when you're becoming a streamer, you're basically starting a small business of yourself.
Of yourself, yeah.
And when you start a small business, of any small business, one, you don't know if you're going to get paid. Two, you got to put a bunch of time investment in.
But especially with streaming, you won't get paid at first. And you don't know if you're going to get paid, because if you stop streaming, guess what? You don't get paid.
You can stream for months and still only have 5 to 10 viewers there and maybe make a few dollars
I'll tell you this. I was streaming so much at one point that I would wake up from my sleep, and in my sleep I was dreaming, thinking that I was still being recorded, like streaming.
Now, I worked,
and wait, hold on, I'm not done. I would stream like 12 hours a day, and I kid you not, like within a month I think I would make like $2,500. It was so just not motivating with the money and the community, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot to keep up with. And I've worked the first 10 years of my a semi-adult teenage life. Obviously, I've worked regular jobs, and just comparing working regular jobs to a broad social media internet job, or even just working for yourself, it's not that I'm not saying it was easier. I'm not saying there wasn't any mental anguish in it. It was different. It was, you wake up, you go do your job, you take care of business, you go home, and that's it. And you can turn off from it, and you can just do what you want to do within your means. Obviously, there are always exceptions. But I felt when I was working a regular job, there was less stress, never-ending constant stress on me versus doing a job that I'm doing now and being in the field and the work that I'm in now, because answering to a boss is different than being your own boss. And it's not something that's meant for everybody. And some people are meant to be the boss. Some people are not meant to be the boss. Some people don't want that responsibility. Some people do. To each their own. Live however you want to live and be happy with it. But I think most people that are saying Hasan is wrong and verifiably wrong in his statement do not understand the other side of that coin.
I didn't. And honestly, it's really interesting because I actually did not understand it until I became a streamer, and then I realized, holy like shit, this is very hard.
And Hasan's the worst person to be saying this because you're looking at him, you're like, this guy makes millions of dollars. What the heck is he complaining about?
And
you're right for saying that.
And you know what? We can even take it a deeper level and talk about how female to male, when it comes to streaming, the differences in that. Because as a female, you're almost subject to like have your tits out and like look really pretty all the time, or
online harassment, I guess.
Yeah, like all that stalking. There's so much weird shit that goes on. Versus guys who then tend to, you have to be funny or do something really barbaric or crazy.
There's pros and cons each. I think it's probably easier to be a girl because all you got to do is put your boobs out. But there's drawbacks to that as well.
Yeah, like I didn't do so well, to be honest, with streaming. And I think a lot of it had to do with me not wanting to put my boobs out. And
not wanting to fake nip slips.
Well,
like
that took it to another level. But I meant just like
streamers
just genuine
fake nip slips to get attention. They're like, whoops, my boobs fell out. And then they get a one-day ban, but then they get all this media attention.
Well, I think that's at that point in my career, I think I started to draw back from streaming because the homepage of the Twitch homepage, it just looked like it was a porn site.
Yeah.
It really did. They started doing like the ASMR licking of the mics, and like that shit was like, wait, I'm not even I don't do OnlyFans. I don't do any of that shit.
You stopped streaming because of the mental anguish. So instead you got yourself a career with immense mental anguish.
Yeah, this career.
You traded one in for the other.
No, I would say like the career that I'm in now is like constant pressure and like even more than streaming. Because
definitely,
I'm dealing
but
with
at least you know you're going to get some type of reward out of it.
Actually, it's really not guaranteed in my field either, to be honest.
Good luck with your life.
I know. But luckily, I'm still grateful for the clients and the career that I've built because I've worked really hard at it. I would not ever... I mean, I think I'd go back to streaming to do with real estate, but I would never become a streamer again.
It's a very demanding gig, and even the people who do make millions of dollars have their mental breakdowns with any type of social media career. But at the same time, those people need to count their blessings and be grateful for what they have at the end of the day.
And I've seen streamers actually destroy their families. Like there was this one girl who she like had a baby. She had a kid and a husband, and she got really famous on Twitch, and she just left them because she wanted to pursue the money and the attention she got from. And I've seen that happen time and time again with streamers.
It's a thing that people. It is a lot, because imagine if you're just a normal, regular person and you go and you're just pursuing a career, I guess, in the internet space, and all of a sudden it starts to hit. You're not mentally prepared or even prepared with the amount of work ethic that you need to put in and balancing yourself and knowing how to level your mentality out. You're not prepared for that, and it comes and it hits fast.
And knowing that there will be ups and downs is also a big thing. It's like you'll be on the hot streak, and at one point
might dip a little bit, and then that stresses people out because then you're clamoring to get back up to where you were, because now you're also worrying, my entire business, everything that I've been doing is about to come crashing down. I worked every day for 12 hours a day for 5 years to get to this point, and now it's on a downslope. Oh, then that's when they're not prepared for that.
Along with the app implementing new rules and such like that, like with a normal 9-to-5 job, usually you don't see that type of stress come up.
You won't see that swing.
Yeah.
It's a different type of stress, because also you got to say there are people out there that do work regular jobs that are stressed out because they're not able to pay their bills. But on the same side of the coin, the average streamer makes less money than an Amazon warehouse worker.
100%.
And imagine that if you're standing there for 10, 12 hours out of the day, staring at a computer screen endlessly with a light shining on you and a camera on you, and you're reading everything in the chat, and you have to be constantly engaging for all of those hours, that's pretty exhausting. Me personally, I would rather work a month in an Amazon warehouse than being a month as a streamer.
Yeah, your quality of life really it goes downhill.
I wouldn't recommend being a streamer for anybody unless you love games and you're already going to be in front of the screen.
And you're really good.
And you're really good at it.
Or really entertaining.
Or really entertaining.
That's what I was saying.
That's what she was saying.
That's what I was saying with like being barbaric or being like super like I feel like the guys, since they don't have like tits or something to show, like I feel like when they come to streaming, you either have to be really funny and really entertaining or be a really fucking
Some
good
girls can
streamer.
just sit there.
A lot of them. That's
Yeah.
why I stopped. I was like, whoa, what is this becoming?
It's
becoming
very exploitive.
Yeah.
What a lot of them do. But anyways, that's all. Right? You got anything else to say?
No.